compatible, allowing for a more intuitive experience. The first part of the game is free to play. Resident Evil 7 is guaranteed to be frightful fun. If you have a compatible device, we highly recommend checking it out to see what you think. Since its release in 2017, Resident Evil 7 has sold 13 million copies. Now it's available in a new form on Apple devices. Up next, a confession from Koshi Nakanishi, the director behind the classic. Resident Evil was, well, if I'm being honest, as a brand, we were off track. And legendary director Yoshinori Kawano discloses the secret origin of Dead Rising. I feel like Dead Rising is the classic zombie game. In the second half of the program, we'll learn previously untold stories about how the games were developed. Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster will have an emergency digital launch for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and Steam on September 19th. The Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster Digital Deluxe Edition will include additional costumes and mall background music, and will be available with the regular version on September 19th. Dead Rising fans shouldn't miss the Dead Rising Original Pack, included as a pre-order bonus. Pre-orders are available starting today.
Welcome to the family, son.
How did Capcom's two major zombie games, Dead Rising and Resident Evil 7, come to be made in the first place? We interviewed the directors of both titles to learn more about the games. First, we have Koshi Nakanishi, the distinguished director of Resident Evil 7. Follow along as he shares previously undisclosed information about the game's origin. When we first started development, Resident Evil was, well, if I'm being honest, as a brand, we were off track. The action element had been expanded, and fans reacted much more negatively than expected. In the end, an RE game has to be scary. So we took another look at it. And the general consensus from fans of the series was that a Resident Evil game is one that should scare the hell out of you. That was the starting point for Resident Evil 7. I played Resident Evil from the beginning, and those early games were terrifying. I was excited to try and make Resident Evil 7 into a game that would live up to the RE name. The fear-inducing Resident Evil that Nakanishi was after had a major impact upon its release. But the course that he chose was far from the path of least resistance. In order to make a fear-focused Resident Evil, many elements of the game had to be re-evaluated from scratch. Like the setting, characters, the game system. Anything that didn't induce fear had to change, and sometimes we threw the whole thing out. And in order to make it scarier, we decided to go with a first-person point of view. Up to that point, RE had been third-person perspective with the character on the screen. But when you're viewing the world from a safe distance behind a character, it's not as immersive and frightening. First person forces you to be up close and personal. And that's exactly what we were trying to accomplish. How did Kawano perceive the target audience for this game? We weren't sure whether to target a casual or core audience. However, we trusted management's concepts and made what we thought would be fun. Kawano had a range of experience directing Mega Man Legends and Breath of Fire, and he was confident in this new genre. We wanted to put the main character somewhere that was overrun with zombies. Most games might ordinarily make their main character a cop or a soldier, a badass, decked out in gear, ready for the situation. But we thought going in that direction would dilute the madness and unpredictability of the zombie outbreak. So, we made him a journalist. We focused the story on him being trapped in a place full of zombies, trying to escape, and rescuing survivors along the way, so that they can all make it out together. Kawano faced challenges during development. It's clear, though, that he still has the same passion for the game. In terms of the narrative, there's a zombie outbreak. We wanted the player to encounter people trying to escape and others who have become a bit unhinged, making them feel like they're trapped in the outbreak. On the development team, we all felt like it was a fun game, but others who saw the game were kind of taken aback. Some even asked whether it was okay to make a game that was so violent. For a second, we started to doubt ourselves. Such an innovative project was bound to grapple with internal friction. But Kawano had a trump card to play: fan expectations. We previewed it at a game show and got mobbed. Players loved that you could use a parasol to kill zombies or put buckets on their heads. That's when I knew we'd done it. I still can't say whether it was targeting core or casual players, but everyone loves zombies and being able to mess around with them in so many ways. I thought people in Japan and abroad would all like the game. However, RE4, a game without zombies, was released the year before. Was Dead Rising trying to dethrone the RE franchise? I think that makes Dead Rising one of the classics. Also, I think anything with zombies needs a sense of humor. The zombie outbreak is a disaster, but I think you need to laugh too. If there are laughs, you can have some tears as well. Resident Evil, on the other hand, is cooler. The main characters are very cool. Kawano's continued passion for the game was evident from his intensity. Shinji Mikami made the Resident Evil game, so of course they have a sense of humor. Giant dolls appear and walk around. But I think we really filled Dead Rising with a ton of ridiculous stuff. If you're looking for a clear answer to that question, in the context of this program, I think it's fair to say that Dead Rising is the classic zombie game. A lot of people played the game when it first came out, but it wasn't the easiest to play. Now that it's been made a little more accessible, I'm excited for those who didn't play or couldn't finish to have another chance. Each of the directors had different experiences, but we'd like to salute both for their innovative contributions. And finally, we managed to draw out an intriguing bit of information from director Nakanishi. We'll let him have the final comment. We're making a new Resident Evil. It was really difficult to figure out what to do after 7. But I found it. And to be honest, it feels substantial. I can't share any details just yet, but I hope you're excited for the day I can. Here's a quick roundup of the games we introduced today that will be launching soon. Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess launches on July 19th, 2024. Try out the demo today. Next, we have Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, which will be available for iPhone, iPad, and Mac. You can play the opening section for free. And finally, 18 years after the original release, we have the original Zombie Paradise action game, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. This is more than your average remaster. This is a deluxe remaster, and we hope you're excited. Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess, and Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster are available for pre-order. That's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. Play up to 2 hours of Dragon's Dogma 2 during our limited time free trial campaign. Saved data from the trial can be transferred when purchasing the full version of the game. Venture forth and get a taste of adventure set within a fantasy world. Now, moving on to Capcom Summer Sale. Dragon's Dogma 2 and Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy are on sale for the first time. Also check out Street Fighter 6 celebrating its first anniversary, Monster Hunter titles, and other popular Capcom games. Be sure to check out the Monster Hunter Anniversary Packs, available for a limited time on Steam. Here are the titles you can pre-order now. Please visit the official websites for details. And finally, don't forget to wishlist Monster Hunter Wilds, the latest title in the Monster Hunter series.